grep Ohio states file. Notice that the pattern Ohio is highlighted in red. Let's change it to blue. We'll go export grep_colors equals ms equals 01 semicolon 34. And then we'll rerun the search. There, now it's blue. You may say, we can change the highlight color? So what? Well, not everyone likes to stick with the default yellow when highlighting in a textbook. Some people prefer green or blue or even pink. The grep command in your terminal can be the same way. It lets you choose your own highlighter color. And the more you make your Linux terminal truly yours and easy to work with, the more enjoyable your workday and the more productive you will be, which is great for everyone involved, both you and your boss. Let's dive in and I'll show you the ins and outs of setting your own grep match colors. First, let's break down the color changing command that you saw me use. At the beginning is the export command. Fleshing out the export command is a little bit outside the scope of this video. For now, just know that the export turns our shell variable into an environment variable, meaning programs we run can access it. If what I just said sounds confusing, don't sweat it. You don't need to understand how the export command operates to be able to change your grep highlight color. Just follow along and I'll walk you through how to pick your own custom color. Next is the grep colors variable name. This is the label that grep uses to store your custom highlight color with. Next is this jumble of symbols, letters, and numbers. This is a code that is telling us a few different things. The MS stands for match start and basically says apply this code when a match is found. The 01 before the semicolon tells grep to bold the matched text. And the 34 after the semicolon tells grep to highlight our match utilizing the color blue. Now you know the different segments of the command you can change to start tweaking your match colors. Let's go back to our terminal for some other interesting tidbits. Let's see the same command again, except this time we'll change the color to magenta, which just looks like purple to me. I don't feel I really know what a magenta is. We'll do the export command again, and we will change this last number from 34 to 35, and we'll hit that and we'll rerun our grep search, and there we are. Now it's purple. Okay, but what about these other numbers? Well, let's see the matched text unbolded. What does that look like? We'll rerun this. Let's change this to 34. We'll change this number to 32. Remember, these last two numbers are just the color. We'll rerun our search. All right, now it's in blue and the text is no longer highlighted. Okay, how about we italicize it? We'll change this to 03, rerun our search. All right, now it's in italics. Now let's rerun this again. What if we use actual highlighting? Let's change this to a 7. We'll rerun this command. There we are. So it just reversed it. So now instead of the text being a different color, the background behind the match is a different color. I want you to watch out for a little detail. If you type export grep colors ms equals 0734 yada yada, your edits will only affect the current session. This means that once you close out your shell by shutting down your computer or even just exiting bash, your changes are lost. Let me show you. We'll close this out. Actually, we'll just type it. We'll reopen, go back to our temp directory. Now let's rerun our grep search. See, our changes are gone. This is bolded again and it's in yellow. Now let's see how to make these changes permanent. We'll say vi home vero.bash rc. Make sure you're using bash as your shell and create this .bash rc file if it's not already created. It doesn't have to already be there. You can just make it if it doesn't already exist in this location. And if you're wondering, RC stands for run commands. It's a leftover artifact from the old Unix days when files ending in RC would run when a program launched. So we'll open this. We'll go to the bottom. We'll insert a new line, and we will type our desired grep matching color at the bottom of this .bashrc file and save our changes. So here we'll say export grep colors equals ms equals 01 semicolon 35 single quote. And we'll save this. We'll clear this. Instead of going through and typing vi, vero, etc., 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 we could just use this symbol. This symbol just simply means go to your home, which in my case is /home/vero. Now we need to reload our bash config settings into the current shell so that our changes can take effect immediately. So we'll type source home vero.bashrc. Oh, I forgot to put a T on the end of export. Let's reopen that again. We'll go down here, export, and then save that. I'm glad it catches that. Okay, now we've reloaded it. Let's rerun our basic grep search. All right, back to purple. Now bear in mind these changes will only take effect when you are logged in with your own username. This setting is not system-wide. To make the changes system-wide, you generally have to edit the /etc/bash.bashrc file on most Linux systems. However, I'd caution you about doing this if other people use the computer. Customizing a communal computer can often lead to, shall we say, unfriendly debates. If you want to know the different color options, you can go to the grep cheat sheet linked in the description below. Let me show you that right now. We'll go to the top here. We will look inside of our index, find the export grep colors section, click that. It'll take us down here, and then we can hit this little drop down box here. And this is an example command. And we hit this little drop down box. It will give us a bunch of details about how to run this command. And it'll also give you a list of, hey, here's the code if you want to have red. Here's the code if you want to have green, down to yellow, blue, magenta, cyan, etc. Now, changing the matched color for grep is a really cool ability, and I definitely suggest doing this to your machine at home. However, practice caution when making changes like this in a production environment or simply at work. Changes, especially on live systems that require a high uptime, should always be tested before they are applied. Now, those with lots of experience in the field are going to chuckle to themselves when they hear me say that, because they know all changes should be tested, but often in the real world they're not. That's it for changing the grep color highlighting. If there's a Linux topic you'd like broken down in a clear, direct, and thorough manner, drop it in the comments. That's how I decide what to focus on next. And know this, when you hear me talk about learning in your home lab and how it's the best method of learning, just know I'm very serious about this. I have a good number of industry certs and a bachelor's degree in computers, and I still learn the most in my home lab. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.